Oh, and welcome to another edition of today's firing line. Today, I'm going to talk about how TV, when they get a good thing, they have to just overdo it and drive you crazy. And today's perfect example is going to be the reality program filmed by Animal Planet and National Geographic. Now, don't get me wrong. I love nature shows. I would rather watch a nature show than keeping up with the douchebagians. But, reality TV, that's just about all we have nowadays is reality TV. Back in the day, we used to have scripted television, Mary Tyler Moore and All in the Family. And then came the reality show. And it got out of hand. And it's getting more out of hand. The ones I'm going to talk about today, 3 shows. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One started out a year ago called The Zoo. Okay. Now, this was a behind the scenes reality show, something you would never see. What goes on in a zoo that you don't see? Great show. I have to admit, great show. Then, when they realized the popularity, we had, now remember, it started out as just The Zoo. Then when it got popular, we had Secrets of the Zoo. Not enough. Then we had to go to, now Secrets of the Zoo is filmed in Columbus. And what they have is the Columbus Zoo, and then they have a section 100 miles. As a matter of fact, it's halfway between Columbus and Cleveland, and it's called the Wilds. Now, they have over 10,000 animals down there. The Wilds, at one time, was a 10,000-acre strip mine just outside of West Salem. Any of you Ohioans know. You may not remember. This also, I'm getting off track, but I want to give you a little history about this area called the Wilds, that they have converted into a massive jungle. Massive area. They've got everything down there. Giraffes and zebras and rhinoceros. And you name it. This 10,000-acre old strip mine that at one time was the home of the largest bucket shovel in Northern America, was called Big Muskie. Google it. The bucket on this shovel could park either 2 or 3 Greyhound buses. At one point in time, either in the late 70s or early 80s, they needed to move this shovel from one side of the strip mine across I-71 to the other side of the strip. I'm giving you a little history. I know I'm getting off track, but this is the sad thing about Big Muskie. This shovel took 10 men to operate. It was so huge. When they moved it, they had to build a compacted 10-foot high mound of dirt over I-71 so it wouldn't crush the freeway. And this thing moved at like 2 miles an hour, so it took a whole weekend. They had to divert. The sad thing is, when the strip mine went out of business, instead of preserving Big Muskie, which at that time was still the largest bucket shovel in northeastern America, Northern America, pardon me, instead of preserving this piece of history, they cut it up for scrap. Sad. Google Big Muskie. They have pictures of the Greyhound buses parked in the shovel. Okay, back to these reality programs. So, we start out a year and a half ago with the zoo. That wasn't enough. So they went to Columbus and they filmed Secrets of the Zoo. That still wasn't enough. Then they went to Cambridge, England, and filmed The Secret Life of the Zoo. Now, if this isn't confusing enough to try to follow these programs, they would have the new shows every week on different channels at the same time. Now, any of you that are fortunate enough to have a DVR, if you could remember to set the DVR, you could save and watch. Otherwise, you had to wait for a rerun, which was usually at 1 and 2 in the morning. I can foresee, since all three of these programs are so popular, we're going to have the zoo, and then we're going to do probably the Zoo Plus in the Bronx. Then in Columbus, we have The Secrets of the Zoo. They'll probably do a spin-off somewhere else at another zoo called The Not So Secret Secrets of the Zoo. And then having the Cambridge, England, The Secret Life of the Zoo. They'll probably do a spin-off somewhere else in England and do the not so well kept Secret Life of the Zoo. What is next?
Message is received from Dalo phone.
You know, when they get a good thing, they constantly have to overdo it. You know, it's hard enough to follow one program every week, let alone if you're really interested to follow 2 and then follow 3. I can see next season we're going to have 6 or 8. You know, television is just getting out of hand. It's just, and everything is reality. Everything is reality. You know, the sad thing is, you know, they tried that scripted comedy series with Robin Williams. And, you know, Robin Williams had a following that was unbelievable. But they stuck it in a crummy time slot. Hardly anybody watched it, and it went one season. And to me, like I say, my opinion, of course, opinions are like butts. Everybody has one. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. Reading after his suicide, this failed attempt at this show was a small part of what caused him to commit suicide. I mean, he was in a fit of depression that they couldn't bring him out of, but he actually thought that this show would work like the show with Tim Allen, Last Man Standing, or whatever they called that one. I don't care for it too much. Tim Allen's humor is nothing like Robin Williams. But those were scripted programs that we used to watch and enjoy. Now everything is reality, 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 reality. It's getting out of hand. As I say, just my opinion.
That's it. I'm through.
Take care, everybody. Have a good week. For all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Take care. I will see you next Sunday with another firing line.